All right, so problem number 6 or 86 says to solve 6x squared minus 29x minus 5 equals 0 by factoring. Okay, so now to solve that by factoring, I'm going to use guess and check. Now the guess and check might be frustrating because you might not get it right away. So I'm going to start with the first and last term. Well, 5 is a prime number, so it's 5 and 1. Those are the two factors of 5. And I've got this negative 5, and so that's going to have to, one of these will have to be negative and one will have to be positive. Now, when I go to figure out what I'm doing, remember that these two diagonals have to add up and equal negative 29. Well, the factors of 6 are 2 and 3. But I noticed something, that 6 times 5 is 30. And I've got a negative 29. So if I were to think of the factors of 6 as being 2 and 3 or 1 and 6, and I were to put a 6 here and a 1 here, and don't forget my x's, I would end up with a 30x here and a 1x here. Now one of these has to be negative and one of these has to be positive with regards to the 5 and the 1. If I make my 5 negative, then this becomes negative 30. Negative 30 plus 1x is negative 29. That's it, we're done. So I've got x minus 5 times 6x plus 1 equals 0. That's all we had to do. Now, it says to solve the equation by factoring. So the only way I can guarantee that this times this equals 0 is if I think of this as being 0 and this being 0, because 0 times 0 equals 0. So that justifies this next step. X minus 5 has to equal 0 and 6x plus 1 has to equal 0. Well, then this would yield x equals 5, move the 1 over to the other side, and I get 6x equals negative 1. Divide both sides by 6, and I get x is equal to negative 1 over 6. Well, let's see. That's correct.